Hello everyone, welcome back to Technical Tuesday, and today's video is going to be on my pink swatches. All of my pink polishes, starting with my non-Maniology. There's not very many of them. I have two that you've probably seen recently from Clear Jelly Stamper because they are new. They are glow in the dark. And two from Born Pretty, and then all the rest are Maniologies. So we'll start with the non-Maniology polishes. We're going to start with the Clear Jelly Stamper, then the Born Pretty. Okay. So the Clear Jelly Stamper is a glow-in-the-dark stamping polish, and it's a very sheer stamping polish. You see, you can barely see it over the black, and you can barely see it over the white even, but it does show up. It's harder to see it on camera than it is to see it in person. It shows up better in person than it does on camera. We're going to go ahead and we're going to paint over a second coat. To show you. It is a lovely pink. That is Clear Jelly Stamper Glow 1. And then we have Clear Jelly Stamper Glow 4. And it's a little bit of a brighter pink. And you can see it over the white better than the other one, and the black better than the other one, but it's still hard to see. I need to shake that. That was globbed. That's a little better. Still kind of globby though. And that is a very nice pretty pink. So on to Born Pretty. This one is kind of sheer as well, which is kind of surprising. Most Born Pretty polishes, with the exception of their special effects, generally aren't sheer. But this one is. And this one is Wondering by Born Pretty. Now, I mentioned in my previous swatching video of my reds that these are very old from Born Pretty, so they could have changed their formula since I purchased these, so take that with a grain of salt, kind of thing. Like it is possible that they're not, their special effects are not as poor quality as what they were. Now their other, like their metallics and their regular creams and stuff, are actually, they stamp great. And this one does not stamp well over black, and it stamps perfectly fine over white. It's kind of hard to see how bright it is on camera for some reason. If I block the light, maybe you can see a little bit better. No, it is very bright. It's a neon pink. The camera's just having a hard time picking it up for some reason. And now we are on to Born Pretty's Pink Hollow. It just says number 2 on the bottom. And it's a nice pretty pink. It's very pastel-y in color. And it's also very sheer. You can actually see through it. So you're going to want some kind of base underneath it. If you're using it as a full coverage, and as far as stamping, you're probably going to want something that's a cream that is also very dark to help bring out its hollow in color. The hollow definitely shows very nicely over the black. As you can see, it's sparkling like crazy. Next on the list is Anthurium, and we are officially on the Maniology stamping polishes. And this is a very pretty metallic magenta-like color, a kind of fuchsia. It's kind of in the fuchsia realm, probably more than magenta, but it's a very pretty metallic. Give it a fresh coat. Yeah, it's a very pretty pink. So, all right, our next color is Fuchsia Flame, which is B215. And this is a bright pink. This is a very bright pink. This is definitely more in the hot pink realm. Let's see, this one hasn't been shook in a while because it hasn't been used in a while. I can tell that it's separated some, so we need to mix her up. There we go. Give her a fresh coat. So that is Fuchsia Flame B215. Oops, sorry guys. Did not mean to drop it in the drawer. I meant to put it in there nicely. So yeah, this is Fuchsia Flame B215, and it is a very, very pretty, bright, and it is a very bright pink. Okay. So next we have Class Clown B289. This is another rather bright pink, but it's a little softer than the previous one. It's almost like a neon pastel, I guess is the best way. It's not quite a pastel, but it has some of that kind of pastel vibes. It's a very soft hot pink. The other one is very bright neon, in your face hot pink. Set that down for a second so I can put that away. So this shows up very well over black and white. As you can see, it is just as bright over both. This is a very good pink to use if you're wanting it to show up against a dark color. It is a very good one for that. It will show very brightly against a dark color. So, a very opaque, great formula. Now, this is one I don't know if it's still available or not. I got this one in a bundle when they were still Bundle Monster. It was like, I think those bundles were like a 5 or 6 piece polish sets at the time, and this one is called Candy Spirit. Whether or not this one's still available, I have no idea. I do know that, that's why it's got a BMC on it, that, you know, I got this back before they rebranded, and a lot of the colors that they had carried back then, they no longer carry with the exception of the Grim Falls collection, the Grim Night Falls collection, or whatever it's called, and the Moonbeams collection. And the only two I know for a fact they still have. I think they have a new version of some of the collections that are different colors but similar to what I had bought back then, which I own now, but they're different, just ever so slightly different. This was like their pastels collection, I think. That's what this one was from. Because I'd bought like a neon collection, is basically what it was called, and a pastels collection. And this one shows up very well over black and white. Okay. This one is Slam Book, which is B290. Now this one is also a very bright hot pinky type color. It shows up well over black, but not as well as it does over white. So its formula is pretty good, but not as good as, say, Class Clown or Fuchsia Flame. I feel like its formula is not quite as good, but it's definitely a close one. For a second, let's see if I can put this in here nicely without it going flying out of my hand. So this is what it looks like over black and over white and with a fresh coat on its solid color. It is actually a very pretty pink. It's very bright. I don't wear pink very often. Pink's my least favorite color. Well, second least favorite color, yellow being my least favorite color. Okay, this one is Pumps B463. And this came in a Valentine's Day MXM box last year for 2023. And it does change ever so slightly over black in its color versus over white. It gives it a more purple look over black. So it's definitely not as opaque as some of the others because it does change the color a little bit over a dark color. With creams, they really should stay the same. Generally, they're not meant to be a special effect and change over different colors. So that one's not quite as good for dark colors. Okay, this next polish is called Sweet B270. And I actually really like this one. It is a nice sparkly pink. Oh my goodness, cat hairs everywhere, cat hairs everywhere. And hopefully the camera can pick up the shimmer in this because it is a very shimmery pink. Okay. Put this away. We'll bring it back out because I just accidentally dunked this stupid thing onto the paper towel and ruined all that work that I just did. Yay. Smooth that back out. There we go. So, let's see if the camera can pick it up. Because there is a very light shimmer. Let's see if you can actually... Okay, there it goes. There it goes. I had to zoom in, guys, for it to show it, but it has... If you see that soft shimmer, oh my goodness, it's so pretty. And you can even see it a little bit in the stamping, especially over the black. It has just a very soft shimmer. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. Okay, so next on our list is Peppermint, which I think this is a discontinued one. I think they discontinued this collection. And I don't think it's for sale anymore. So this one is more of a sheer special effect polish. And it has a very interesting effect. It's almost like a purple over black. And it's almost a purple over the black. And it's an interesting shade of pink over white. It's very sheer, to say the least. Okay. So next on the list, guys, is Sweet Peach, which is B376. And this is a much softer pink. And it definitely leans into the flesh tone realm of pinks. And it has a mauve-like color when you put it over black. And it stays the same over white. It actually looks very good over white. Okay, the next one is Sunblaze, which this one leans towards the orange family, and it is B472. This is a relatively new one. I know this one's still available for sure. It came out last year in their Honeybee MXM box. And this might actually make its way into my oranges, to be honest. I think this one leans more towards orange and less towards pink. But it has both. It's kind of hard to organize them because some colors really do fall into more than one color family because it's a mix of the two. Okay. And here's another really pretty one. This one is Faye B470. It's also a more recent, came out last year, a more recent color, and was in the Fairy box, which was last year's March box, I believe. I remember being really excited about it, and I remember it coming out relatively close to my birthday. I couldn't remember if it was April's box or if it was March's box, but I know it came out last year around that time. And this one shows up pretty well over both. However, it changes ever so slightly over black and gives it a slightly more mauve than the brownish hues it has, because it's a brownish pink. Okay, the next color on the list is Shadow Chaser. B216, and this one almost falls into the purple category, and it is a very bright pink that leans into the purple. Purple family. It is very close to both. So over black, it does not show well. This is a more sheer polish, and it does not show very well over black. In fact, it looks almost like a brown over black. It kind of leans, it's kind of like a burgundy color over black, and it shows well over white, as to be expected, but over black it does not show very well at all. Okay, so this is another one from their Bundle Monster Days before they rebranded, and I do not know if it is available anymore. It is likely one of their discontinued. It is called Rave Babe B179. And this is a very soft bright pink. And it does show up well over both. It shows up well over black and white. Okay, our next one on the list is Watermelon Float. Now this one wasn't last year, but it was the year before. It came out in the swimming pool MXM box. And it had like all sorts of swimming pool type stuff, like the actual swimming pools themselves with water. It came with Splash, which was a blue, and it had like pool floats and men and women in bathing suits, and things like that. And it shows pretty well over black, though it does change ever so slightly. It does give it a more pink and a less peachy orange color over black. But it does have a peachy orange like color naturally and over white. And this is another BMC one before they rebranded. And once again, with the BMC, once I say BMC, the only ones I know for sure that they still carry is the Moonbeams collection and the Grimm's Nightfall collection. Past that, I will not be able to tell you if they still carry it or not. But this one is Rose Garden B153, and it also shows up rather well over both. However, it does change ever so slightly over black, which is not uncommon for most of stamping polishes because black is such a harsh dark color. Creams are, it's difficult to get a cream to show up over black, to say the least. The metallics tend to show up really well, but the creams tend to be more difficult. And this next one is called Waikiki, and it is a very pretty, soft, shimmery, darker pink. And let's see if I can get the shimmer to show up on camera. It has lots of shimmer in it, and I do love that shimmer. Yeah, there you go. You can actually see the shimmer in that. It's very pretty. It does not show up quite as well over the black. It does show, but it's definitely muddied down. It's not as opaque over the black. All right, so next on the list is Laua. B342. And it does show up over black, though it's very subtle. The shimmer in it is the main thing that shows up. The actual pigmentation that gives it its color doesn't show nearly as well as the actual metallic flakies that's in it. Well, I wouldn't say flakies, but the metallic pigments that's in it. Pigments is the better word there. Okay, this is from their Neons collection before they rebranded. This is Hottie Toddy B192. This is a very bright pink. This is hot pink at its finest, to say the least. So over black, you can see it, but much like some of the others, it basically turned a burgundy. It did not do well over black. It did great over white, but did not do well over black. But if you're wanting a burgundy look, it's perfect. It's not a bad look. It's just, it's not the color you would expect when you're stamping. Okay, and this one was from their Metallics collection before they rebranded. So once again, I do not know if it is still available or not, but this one is called Seeing Rainbows, and I love this metallic. It's a very pretty metallic pink. Some of their old ones are just classics to me. They are such nice colors. There's several of their older colors I wish they would bring back. Okay, so this one, whenever I was using pink, back when I only had just a few collections of theirs before they rebranded and all of that, was one of my go-tos, because look how well that shows up over black as well as white. Back in that day, getting a stamping polish to show up well over black was kind of hard to do, especially lighter colors that are generally difficult to work with in the first place, like yellows, reds, pinks. Those tend to not show as well over black. A lot of times you would have to double stamp. You would have to stamp in white and then the other color, and generally that is still the process today, but it's not nearly as needed as what it was, say, 7-8 years ago. So the formulas have improved a lot over the years. Maniologies has improved over a lot over the years, and that's why I say with Born Pretty, because I hadn't bought them in that long, theirs may be better now than what they were then. They're still good stamping polishes even back then, but I can't tell you for sure whether or not the quality is the same as what it was then, or if it has improved over the years like Maniologies has. Now, I've never heard anybody complain about Born Pretty stamping polish out of thousands of people that I interact with on the Maniology Facebook group, that, and other nail Facebook groups, that there hasn't really been people who have complained about it. A lot of people still swear by it, and I do swear by it as well as a good brand to go for especially a reasonable price, because on Amazon you can get a nice big bundle for $20. You'll get basically $1 a polish, or maybe $1.50 a polish for stamping polishes, and the size of the bottle is this. So you know, you would get a decent amount and a good range of colors that's reasonable quality. So they are a good deal regardless, and they do stamp well generally. So that is definitely a good polish to go for. And we are going to go ahead and go into our next color, which is Pitaya B435. Excuse me. And I do like this pink. I like all my polishes, to be honest, but some of them are definitely more favorites than others, like Shadow Chaser's one of my more favorite. If it, Anthurium's more of a favored. Waikiki is a favored. Sweet is a favored. Seeing Rainbows is a favored. But I have used all of them at least once at some point in time, whether it be in reverse stamping or just the basic outline. You know, layered stamping, things like that. So this one shows up relatively well over black, though it does dull the color down and becomes even more pastel-y over black than it does over white. It's less bright and more pastel over black. Okay, here's another one of my favorite pinks that is definitely a more favored over a lot of the others, is Wild Wings. Now, I had not rediscovered Maniology when this one came out, but I did buy it, you know, later on, obviously. But it was one that came in an MXM box. And it is a very bright metallic, I don't think it's duochrome, but it is definitely really pretty. Definitely a very pretty metallic pink. And it's a darker metallic pink too. And when it's over black, it turns purple, guys. Look at that. I think it may be a duochrome, just a very subtle duochrome, but it's got purple to it, guys. Look at that. That is so pretty. When it's over black, it turns purple. Straight up turns purple. It is very pretty. I love that color a lot. Oh, we're going to be erasing the battery here. Okay, so the next one is Ho 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 B263. And this is a very strong mauvey pink metallic. And if you want super shine metallic, this is definitely the one to go to, because it is, the metallic is exceptionally strong in this one. It's got chunkier metallic pigments, making it exceptionally shimmery and strong in the metallic. And it shows up well over black and white equally. Okay, the next one is Rose Quartz B242. This is a very soft pastel pink, and this is one that I love to do with spring manis and Easter manis and things like that. This is one that I tend to reach for that kind of thing. And it's borderline a flesh tone. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a flesh tone, but it's definitely flirting with that line. It is definitely flirting with that line. So it shows up well over white. It stays the same over white. It gives it a gray effect over black. It looks more like a gray when it's done over black. Okay, so the next on this list is one that I've used in multiple videos, so you guys know this is definitely a favored. This is Brain Freeze. It is a very soft, pastel-y, shimmery pink. It has a gold shimmer to it. And I actually used this one in my mental health mani video in reverse stamping. So over black, the gold stands out more than the pink, the gold shimmer. But it stays the same over white. It holds well over white, but it has a more gold and less pink over black. Okay, so the next one is Primrose B423, and this one leans towards purple. And it is a nice dark purpley pink cream. And it shows up well over black as well as white. Very little change over black. Okay, this next one is one of their jelly stamping polishes. This is Vermilion B273. And the dang thing open. Come on. Fuse shut on me, and then there we go. Okay, so this is a jelly, and it shows up well over white, but not over black. You can barely see it at all over black. I'm gonna zoom in and see. Dang cat hairs. My pet glitter. Got pet glitter in my nail. Trying to get it out of there. Okay. Sorry guys. So over the white, it is a very subtle color, and over the black, it's practically non-existent because it is a jelly polish. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in so you can see this. You can see it over the white relatively well, but over the black, it's very difficult to see. In fact, it's not the greatest to see on camera, even over the white, but in person you can see it much better. I feel like there's some glare going on with my light that's making it harder for the camera to see properly. Okay, so the next one is Rosewater B234, and this is a nice mauvey pink that's a little bit deeper. It shows up brighter over black than it does over white, which is kind of funny. Usually it would be the other way around, but in this case that's actually the opposite of the norm. It actually looks a little brighter over the black than it does over the white. And there's no metallic whatsoever. This is a cream finish. There's no metallic or shimmer. Okay, so the next one is Psychedelic Stereo. Oh, I forgot the C at the end of that one. I wrote it down. I must have been really tired when I was doing that one. So, Psychedelic Stereo B158. Ooh, I didn't use this one. It was separated. Okay. So, Psychedelic Stereo is a deeper, bright pink. And it shows up well over black and white. It changes ever so slightly in color over black, but not a whole lot. Okay, so that was close. Good thing it was dry. The next one in the list is Nightingale. And this one actually leans kind of towards, it's like a mauvey gray pink. This could go towards the gray family just fine. Whoa, when the heck did that happen? Oh well. It was very dry on there, so that must have happened a long time ago. Alright, come on. My cap came apart on me. Because it's stuck to the bottle. Now, Nightingale is from the very first MXM book box they did, book themed box, 2 years ago. It came in the same box that Sonic came in. And I guess it was called like a dusty pink. Oh, dang it, my sticker fell off again. I have to re-glue that. It's at a point where I have to glue it. It no longer stays. It no longer stays. So we have to glue it now. We officially have to glue it. How unfortunate. No, don't stick to my finger. Stick to the bottle. Okay, so now that I've glued the sticker back on, and apparently glued my fingers. Okay, so we have 3 more. We have Blossom B466. Now, I don't have the very newest collection that came out of actual like new colors. I mentioned in the previous video I oopsied and bought a collection that I thought was new, and it actually turned out to just be them combining previous MXM polishes to make a bundle. And it was ones I already had. So they're duplicates by accident. So this is Blossom, and it is a nice softer pink, not quite mid-range. It's a darker pink for light pinks. And it shows up well over both black and white. And smooth out. There we go. That's enough to actually make it smooth out and take the excess at the same time. There we go. And it actually becomes a little softer over black than it does over the white. Alright, the next one is, I think it's supposed to be pronounced Rosé. It's spelled rose, but it's got the E with the little, I don't know what that's called, but I believe it's called Rosé is how you would say this. And this is a very bright metallic, it's a darker bright metallic pink. I feel like this was like the replacement for Seeing Rainbows. It's a little bit darker than Seeing Rainbows, but the same kind of metallic. And last, but certainly not least, because this is definitely a very well-performing pink, is Satin Blush. And this one performs exceptionally well. This metallic looks exactly the same over white as it does over black. And it shows up perfectly over both. It is a very pretty, smooth metallic. It has a very nice finish. And there's no change whatsoever over black versus white. It stays the same no matter how it's used, whether it's the base stamped over white, light or dark, it stays the same. This one is like A++ performance polish. It is absolutely awesome, and it is a stunning color. So that is all of my pinks, and there's a lot of them, guys. There's a lot of them there. So there are more that I don't have that are currently available. And yay, more junk calls. It's tax season, so all the scammers are calling lately. So yes, now there are some that I don't have that I would like to get. And of course, when I do finally get my hands on, I will do a comparison video to similar ones that I already own. And of course there are discontinued ones that I never got my hands on before they were discontinued. So there are plenty out there that I don't have, but this is what I do have, and I do feel like I have a pretty good selection to work with. And I hope this was helpful for you guys to see the variations in the colors. And you know, for the ones that are discontinued, I'm sorry. You know, you may be able to get it in a buy-sell trade group, but for the ones that are still available, I hope this is helpful on your decision making if you don't already own it, but you're looking for a pink that you want to use for a specific mani and would like to pick up. So that's all of them, guys. And the next color selection on there, I believe, is I think we'll do purples next, so we stay in the same drawer. Before moving on to the next drawer, we'll do purples next. So the next swatch video will be on my purples. So that's all of it, guys. Thank you all for watching. And for those of you who like this video and you want to help my content out and help my channel out, you can go ahead and give a like and a comment if you've seen more than one of my videos and you liked all of the ones that you've seen, or at least the majority of the ones that you've seen. Feel free to subscribe. All of those things will help with the algorithm and help my channel out, getting my videos to more viewers and get me one step closer to ad revenue to help support the consumable items being used. And if you would like to help support the channel in other ways, I do have a discount code in the description below that you guys get a discount if you use when ordering from Maniology to get 10% off of all things that are not MXM plates and MXM box. Everything else it works on, and I get a small kickback from it. So that also helps. For those of you who are already doing those things, thank you. You have done so much help for me and providing, you know, keeping me being able to provide these videos by providing consumable items that are being used up. You would be surprised how much of acetone and cotton balls and paper towels and things like that get used up when doing all of this. So that is a huge help, guys. I do believe that is everything. I don't have any new announcements right now of mani plans or anything like that. Like I said, the only thing else that I am planning for the next swatch video is the purples. So that is all for now, guys, and thank you all for watching. I hope you all are having a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it may be, wherever you are at while you are watching. And until next time, guys, bye.